The Poopiest Confessions of Reddit. I was 22 years old when I learned that not every family has a poop knife. My family poops big. Maybe it's genetic. Maybe it's our diet. But everyone births giant logs of crap. If anyone has laid a mega poop, you know that sometimes it won't flush. It lays across the hole in the bottom of the bowl and the vortex of draining water merely gives it a spin as it mocks you. Growing up, this was a common enough occurrence that our family had a poop knife. It was an old rusty kitchen knife that hung on a nail in the laundry room, only to be used for that purpose. It was normal to walk through the hallway and have someone call out, "Hey, can you get me the poop knife?" I thought it was standard kit. You have your plunger, your toilet brush, and your poop knife. Fast forward to 22. It's been a day or two between poops and I'm over at my friend's house. My friend was the local dealer and always had guests over, because you can't buy weed without sitting on your ass and sampling it for an hour. I excuse myself and lay a gigantic turd. I look down and see that it's a sideways one. So I crack the door and call out for my friend. He arrives and I ask him for his poop knife. My what? Your poop knife, I say. I need to use it, please. WTF is a poop knife? Obviously he has one. But maybe he calls it by a more delicate name. A fecal cleaver, a dung divider, a guano glaive. I explain what it is I want and why I want it. He starts giggling, then laughing. Then lots of people start laughing. It turns out, the music stopped and everyone heard my pleas through the door. It also turns out that none of them had poop knives. It was just my ducked up family with their ducked up bowels. Duck my life. I told this to my wife last night, who was amused and horrified at the same time. It turns out that she did not know what a poop knife was and had been using the old rusty knife hanging in the utility closet as a basic utility knife. Thankfully she didn't cook with it, but used it to open Amazon boxes. She will be getting her own utility knife now. I found out my girlfriend shits in the shower. What do I do? Don't really know to get into this, but I'll start by laying out a few details. So I've been dating this girl for about 4 months now and she is amazing. Up until I found out about this. Like seriously amazing. Both fallen hard for each other. I've met her family and she's met my limited family and it's been going great. She stays over a couple of times a week and I love her company and I'm very much in love with her. So finding out about this hit me quite hard and I've felt really weird since. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's overall a pretty busy situation, but basically at the start of the week she was at my place and we were chilling and caught up with the latest episode of The Mandalorian. Great TV show BTW. And she goes off to take a shower, which is normal after a day of work. So I'm chilling out in my room browsing Reddit and catching up with shit and I need to take a piss. I go to the bathroom and walk into a room where I'm engulfed in the smell of shit and also it's steamy as hell in there. I'm taken aback clearly and trying to make sense of it because the toilet lid is down but the smell is so strong, so I ask my girlfriend if she's okay. She says she's great and she's nearly done, she's just trying to get rid of this. At this point I'm horrified and as I approach the shower curtain, it's a black curtain so I can't see shit. I kinda realize what she's done and I pull back the curtain and she faces me to smile at me and I look down and there's about half a shit clogging up the drain and she's clearly been trying to stomp it down. I had a lot of emotions running through my head all at once. Horror, disgust and surprisement. Mainly at her reaction of me walking in on her trying to waffle stomp a shit down the ducking drain. And I couldn't get my head around how cool and collected she was. I basically just said WTF are you doing, and TBH her reply was more of surprise at my reaction of seeing what she was doing, as in she didn't see the big deal about it and didn't get why I was so horrified. It was ducking weird. I left the bathroom obviously and we had a talk about it and she thought it was a normal thing to do. She needed a shit and just went for it. Apparently she was raised in a household where that was a normal thing to do and I just couldn't comprehend it. After a while talking she reassured me she didn't do it all the time but just whenever she needed a shit while in the shower. I tried explaining that this was definitely not normal or a cool thing to do whatsoever and she kinda flipped it back on me as if I was shaming her and got upset. Like I said, I love this girl but this has properly rocked me and I don't know what to do. Okay, if this is a legit post, Since she seems otherwise perfect and seems to not understand this is inappropriate, you tell her that it isn't. Be very clear that it's not okay with you. It's an easy fix for her. If she continues to shit in the shower, it's some psychological need and you may have a challenge on your hands. Sounds like she needed a poop knife. This reminds me of that story on here once where this guy thought his girlfriend was pooping in the shower. Come to find out, she was just using coffee as a face scrub. Tifu by not asking my girlfriend if she has been pooping in the shower. So as the story goes, my girlfriend and I have been dating for almost 5 years, but just moved in together about 6 months ago. She is very smart, clean, fun, and generally just an all-around good person to live with. Until about 5 months ago, she typically wakes up earlier than me and hops in the shower right away. So by the time I get up she is finished in the bathroom. One morning as I was getting in the shower I noticed some brown stuff near the drain of the tub. I thought nothing of it really, and made a note to clean the bathroom later that day as it had been a couple weeks. The next day I hopped into a freshly cleansed bathtub and to my dismay, there again were traces of some brown material in different areas of the tub floor. Concerned and a little disgusted by this mysterious matter, I rinsed it away the best I could. It couldn't be what I thought it was, right? Maybe we had mice. Yes, mice. I should tell my girlfriend to pick up some traps on her way home. Fast forward a few weeks. Completely empty mouse traps. Zero evidence of mousy activities. Yet still almost every morning I was met with a greasy brown substance hastily mashed around the shower drain. I planned my words carefully. It was not my intention to embarrass her, as I would expect this type of behavior would indicate some type of underlying mental disorder or strange fetish that I was somehow unaware of. Whatever her reason, we would work it out together and move on with our lives. The moment finally came after dinner tonight. I took a deep breath, put my hand on her knee, looked her in the eye and asked, "Laura, have you been pooping in the shower?" A mix of confusion and mild amusement crossed her face and she responded with, "Excuse me, is that a serious question?" I guess my uncomfortable body language made her realize that I indeed was serious, and she immediately became alarmed. I explained the strange matter that I would find in the tub every morning, and it didn't look like residue from any of the products that she used, so I couldn't imagine what else it could be. There was a pause before she began giggling hysterically. I use my morning coffee grounds as a face scrub. The amount of relief that washed over me was intense, but I was only able to enjoy it for a few seconds before she stood up and said, "Wait, how long have you been suspicious exactly?" "A couple weeks after moving in was the first time I noticed." "Why, you thought I was shitting in the shower and you waited 5 months to confront Emmy about it. Now if you could just stop shitting in her coffee cup." I feel really bad coming on my turtle. Why the duck would I do that? I should have never masturbated in front of my turtle. So basically I was watching porn in my 55-inch TV and my turtle was next to me in the couch. The porno was really old. It was a DVD from 2002. It was probably the hottest porn I have ever watched, and honestly I'm probably going to watch porn on DVD instead from the internet. The only reason I had my turtle with me was because whenever I come, I feel really depressed and lonely. So I thought that if my turtle watched with me I wouldn't feel lonely. Well, I started stroking my willy. I used lotion. I took all my clothes off, but my dumbass forgot the tissues. I realized that I forgot to grab tissues, but it was too late. I was going to come. I didn't want to come everywhere, so I had to think fast. It was when I saw my turtle when I realized what I had to do. I came like a mother ducker. My turtle was painted with my cum in his tiny little face and all around his shell. He didn't say a word about it. He didn't move. He just stood there looking at me like I killed a bunch of children. I would never forget the look my turtle gave me. His disappointing face broke my heart. I put on my clothes. I took my turtle to the bathroom and cleaned him off. What happened, but my turtle would never forget what happened. My turtle, Tommy, would never forgive me. Today, I passed by him and I know he still remembers what I did to him 3 hours ago. My only wish is that one day, Tommy the turtle will forgive me for my horrible sins. That is enough internet for today. Good day, sir. My husband only wipes after certain types of shits and doesn't wash his hands, like ever. then pops it and wipes it on his clothes, picks his nose and eats it, doesn't shower for days, doesn't brush his teeth except for maybe the days that he showers. We have a 13-month-old, and there are constantly dirty diapers on the floor. My 10-year-old is actively confused about why an adult doesn't understand that this isn't okay. I gave up sharing a bathroom long ago. His gaming area reminds me of trap flop houses I've been to, and it's like every room he has been in has been visited by a vengeful toddler. When I bring these things up to him, he actively ignores me, pretends he isn't doing it as I watch him, or acts like I'm a stuck-up priss that is making a big deal out of nothing. I don't want to touch him. I don't want to kiss him. And I don't want him to touch me. Some background info. He has Asperger's and ADHD, which he just started taking meds for. I thought that would help with some of the household tidiness stuff. Amphetamines usually have that effect on people, but it hasn't. I don't know anything about what is normal for people that are on the spectrum because from what everyone tells me, it varies significantly from person to person. This is literally the only problem I have with him, because he is the most wonderful, kind, and loving person in every other capacity. But it's gross, confusing for the children, and makes me feel completely alienated in my marriage and my home. And I'm not going to clean up after a grown-ass man, because he is clearly intellectually capable of understanding what it takes to get by in life. He works for a major industrial company and made over 75k last year. Obviously I can't talk about it with people I know, and frankly I don't even think I could address these things in therapy because it makes me feel so incredibly uncomfortable. But I'm at the point where I want to leave because he's too gross to live with. I mean, am I the a-hole here? Ro, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content. It's free and that's a great price.